raised a certain kind of way, we develop habits and behaviors that now drive our decisions, right? And so my job as a development coach is to identify unhelpful behaviors, unhelpful thoughts that drive our decisions, and to replace them with helpful. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And I'm very passionate about what I do. Very passionate about what I do. A little bit about me. I'm originally from New Jersey. My mom was supposed to be here with me. But, the enemy's always busy, right? The enemy's always busy. Like I said, I'm on assignment. And so I know that when I'm on assignment, the enemy is also trying to get in the way of that assignment. And as I was on my way here, I drove here from Virginia with my baby girl right there. The entire 7 hours, I was like, God, why is it supposed to take 7 hours to get to where we're going? Well, it was really only supposed to take 5. But he began downloading into what it was that he wanted me to take part in. As mothers, we have the weight of the world on our shoulders. There are things that we struggle with that we don't even talk about. Things that we aren't even aware of, right? And oftentimes we are unaware of how our emotions and the things that we're going through in our subconscious and conscious mind affect our behavior and therefore drive our decisions. And as mothers, it is important for us to take a look on the inside of ourselves and figure out, is what I'm doing helpful? Is what I'm doing helpful? It's not about being healthy, it's not about being calm, it's not about being normal. Is it helpful? As I began, like I said, my mother was supposed to be here today, and the enemy is always busy. And I have planned to honor her today. We don't have a very good relationship. I don't remember the last time we had a good relationship. Even though she stays with me currently until the end of September. I've tried everything that I feel like I've exhausted my resources. And so I began asking God, well, God, why does this pattern happen? Why is this a pattern where I want to rely on her and then she lets me down? Why is it that there's a pattern of her really, really good and then there's an argument? Why is this a pattern? And he reminded me that the enemy is busy. And we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but we wrestle against rulers of darkness. And in that moment, I said, okay, well, what is she wrestling with? I understand what I'm wrestling with. But help me understand her. Help me understand what's driving her behavior, because when I ask her, she just doesn't know. And so how can I fault her for acting in a way that she's unaware of and doesn't have the capacity in order to communicate what she's actually going through? So I said, God, give me an understanding of what she's dealing with. And why does it always happen in the moments that I have to pour into other women? Because I could come here empty, but I came here full, because everything that the enemy meant for evil, God always uses good. Because that situation brought me here today. And what God revealed to me is that women who live unfulfilled become women who breed women who are unfulfilled. I'm going to let that say. Because I know that was it. Women who live unfulfilled breed and nurture women who are unfulfilled. We're raising the next generation of matriarchs. That's how heavy our call is that the things that we do for our children are the things that our children are going to do for their children. And so as I began exploring my own journey through motherhood, I had to really begin to ask myself, is what I'm doing helpful? Is it helpful? Is what I'm doing breeding a child who's going to be the woman that God created her? Not who I want her, but who God created her. And God said the only way for you to nurture her in the way that she needs is to become the woman that I created you. It's not about her. It's about you. We as mothers are their example. And if they do not see us pursuing our dreams and living fulfilled, loving ourselves and walking with boldness and understanding who we are, how can we raise our children to be the same? And how can the world that tries to break us down at every single turn expect for us to raise our children to be bold, healthy young girls when we as women, we aren't out? We're tired of hearing we're too big, we're too small, we're too dark, we're too light, we're too this, we're tired of hearing that. But I'm going to tell you, those are tricks of the enemy. The enemy why we feel anxious. That's why we feel sad. That's why we feel scared to go after that opportunity. That's why we feel unworthy. That's why we pick bad. That's why we make bad decisions. And now we are passing those things down to our children. We don't face it. Last week I had the opportunity of speaking to a group of women leaders, and there was a quote on the wall that said, St. Copa, the journey to the past, in order to learn from the past, I must go back to the future. I say that today because there are some things from the past that you need to go back and get. I'm going to say something out loud that a lot of us don't say. Somebody along the way go back to their Somebody along the way told us that we weren't good at it. They may not use those words and should have used them. Somebody back in the past made us feel like what we're saying is not important. How we feel is not important. That motherhood trumps everything, and you as a woman, you're just a mother. I'm going to tell you that's a lie. Every single person here, no matter how old, how young, how wise, how educated, it does not matter. We all have purpose. And I'm so glad I got to hold this up and kind of set this atmosphere, because atmospheres like this is where chains are broken. This is where strongholds are broken on. I don't tell y'all, I told somebody on yesterday, my child is a lot like me. And, sometimes that can be interesting to see in a 7-year-old. But I said, what is it that you're trying to show me? Because she is so resilient. She's way more resilient than I was. And when I began seeing myself doing the same things that my mother was doing, I said, okay. Because I know what I had to do. I know what I had to do in order to feel comfortable enough to sit up here and feel valuable enough to tell other women that they are valuable. And so I have a very quick resource here for everybody. We can just pass these around. There are some key areas, and everybody feel free to take it. You can fill it out now or you cannot. But I kind of just want to talk to you guys through combating the lies of the enemy. Because there's always a hint of truth in a lie, right? That doesn't make it the full truth. So today, my goal is to share with you all the way that the enemy tricks our minds as mothers and as women, and help you combat it with the truth. I'm ready to arm you guys with the full armor of God with the truth. Does that make sense? Okay. So as we're going around, the very first question is, the very first thing that the enemy will do is he will play with your self-esteem. He'll play with how you view yourself. Do you view yourself as valuable? So the very first question on the page once you get it is, what do you love most about yourself? Who here can tell me what they love most about themselves? Go ahead, baby. What do you love most about yourself? She loves that she is kind. That's the next generation, though. That's the next generation, and that speaks a lot about your mothering. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
I love that I'm so caring.
You love that you are so caring. Let's take it up for these young people. Go ahead.
I like how I present myself and like my attitude.
Yes. Now I want to present something to the mother. What do you love most about yourself? And can we be as bold as these young girls? Because there's something that's stopping you from raising your hand and saying, I love this about myself. Go ahead.
I love that I'm strong.
Yeah, she loves it. One more person. This name.
I love that I'm a mother.
You love it, you're a mother. Can I challenge that real quick? What kind of mother are you?
Great mother.
Great mother. That's Go ahead.
I love that I'm ready to return.
Nice. The reason why I want you guys to do that exercise is because it's important that when those thoughts of self-doubt come in, that you remind yourself of who you are. And not only what God says about you, but what you say about you. Because what you say about you is also very important. And it's not in alignment with what God said, that you're fearfully wonderfully made, then it's not the truth. But you don't have to criticize yourself. You can self-reflect and say, this is a part of my life that I want to change. But I'm still alone. I'm still a great mother. I may not have handled that the way I wanted to, but I'm still a great mother. I may not be where I want to be in my life, but I'm still a great mother. I'm still a great woman. Does that make sense? All right. Anybody have anything for that? Okay, great. Oh, thank you so much. The next thing is that the enemy will, mothers, we're really good for burnout. We're really good for running on empty and not allowing ourselves to bask in what makes us feel good, what makes us feel good, what makes us feel good. Not in the I enjoy doing things for people. That's great. But what brings you joy? In your solitude, what brings you joy? For me, it's singing. I love to sing. Whether I'm in the shower or I'm at church or I'm serving, that's the thing I could do all day, every day. Because it genuinely brings you joy. And so the next question is, what brings you fulfillment? And I'll even follow that up with, how often are you doing that thing that brings you fulfillment? There's a scripture that says, and I put a scripture references on the side too, that hope deferred makes a heart sick, but fulfillment is a tree to life. The Bible literally tells us we're supposed to live with this. We're not supposed to be burned out. We're not supposed to be running on empty. We're supposed to be fulfilled. We're supposed to enjoy life. Yes, there will be seasons that are harder than others, but it doesn't matter. Because even in my hard seasons, I know I'm in the shower, I'm like, I can praise the Lord. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to praise the Lord. And it's going to bring me fulfillment. So I want to encourage you all, don't burn yourselves out so much. Add some time into your day for yourself. Because you're teaching your children to do the exact same thing. A burnt-out mother raises burnt-out children. And I know y'all probably like, girl, you don't understand my story. Oh, I do. I've been a working mother. I've been away from my baby mother. I've been a stay-at-home mother. I've been a married mother. I've been a single mother. I've been a depressed mother. I've been an anxious mother. I'm 35. I've been all them things and this. And through those seasons, God taught me that my life matters. What I want out of life matters. And I want to say the same thing. What you want out of life matters. There's some dream, some goal that you left in the past. I tell you, you need to now go back and get something you did as a child that made you happy, that made you smile. It's time to go back and get it. Because that's the key to unlocking true you. The truest, most innocent, most purest version of you that the world was sold. The very next thing that the enemy will begin to, and I told you I was here on the sign. Here on the sign. Because I feel this thing very deeply in my spirit. The next thing that the enemy will try to do is try to change with your children. And even just the people around you, but particularly your children. But this girl's so big, I can't do nothing with her. She's acting just like her neighbor. Oh, come on now, can we be real? Can we be real? Because I'm sitting up here real transparent. And I know I don't do everything perfect. I don't do nothing perfect. As a matter of fact, I made a mess up this morning. I had to say I'm so sorry. Because it's not us against our children. One, they're children. Their brains quite literally are not fully developed. She doesn't even have the ability to even fully listen because developmentally her brain is just not wired that way yet. It doesn't come until after the age of 7. So when we are having these tense moments with our children or anybody, we're not wrestling with that person. We're not tussling with that person. It's a spirit. Especially if it's a pattern, it's something that continuously happens. There's something else that's there. It's not the flesh. So I would encourage you to ask yourself, what do I love most about my children? Instead of focusing on all the things that they do that get on my nerves, like leave dishes in the sink, leave dishes in the building floor. What do you love most about your children? Shift your perspective from the negative to the positive. the enemy will begin to use our emotions against us. Many of us as women have very strong emotions. And we know our words can cut like a knife. Like I can hear a pin drop. I must be on point. I remember I said something to my daughter one day. And as silly as she said, no, I'm not. And I was like, you know what, you're absolutely right. I'm so sorry. She's not going to say that to you. And I had to learn that if I'm not careful with my emotions, I will break her. Mom, we have so much power. We have so many, some of us are doing it by ourselves. Little children, everything. And the voice that they hear from us becomes the inner voice that they have as adults. What is that voice telling them? When they're out of your presence, what does your voice in their head say about them? As a woman who had to overcome quite a bit, I mean, God brought me through a journey. We have to be careful what we say to our children. Really, and we are responsible for that damage that we do. Because they don't know any better. They just don't. They're not supposed to. That's why we're the adults. That's why we have the knowledge. And I know it's not going to come down harder. I'm coming from a place of love. Because the enemy will steal your children through your words. The enemy will steal your children through your words. So the very last question is, how do you cope with any unhelpful emotions during tense times? I was in the military. They taught us that we need to always be prepared. We hear you stay ready, we gotta get ready. You know that when your daughter does this one thing that makes you real mad, play for it. Her, I can't respond right away sometimes. Sometimes I really have to take a deep breath, and it trains my body to relax. So that I don't say something and I now have to go back and apologize for that I was regret. So I encourage you to think about how do you currently cope with tense situations and what can you do differently. This is why I talk about personal development, right? Understanding emotional regulation, understanding how to do, understanding what's working and what's not working, and replacing what's not working with what's working. I used to yell a lot. Any yells in the room? Y'all gonna be honest? Okay, I used to yell a lot. And I remember, and I'm close, and I remember I used to, as I was on this journey of rediscovering who God created, who the world shaped me, I saw myself on the outside doing things that just weren't right. And I heard God say, you got to stop doing it. I said, well, God, I don't know anything different. This is all I know. This is how I was raised. This is how my mom was raised. This is all I know. I need to give you something different. And he began working with me to show me that you're just anxious. You're overstimulated. That's why you're so irritable. You're angry about what happened. This is triggering this in you. This is triggering your inner child because this happens to you. And when that opened the floodgates, I was like, well, teach me how do I regulate my emotions now? Now that I have words to them, what can I do differently? I'm very passionate about helping women become the version of themselves that God called them to be. Because we really are responsible for this next generation, man. And this next generation really needs to know who they are because y'all see what's going on. It's our job to be prepared. So I'm closing because I know I'm on my time. But I wanted to encourage each of you all that you all are not just enemies, right? A lot of healers come to realize that you guys are just not enemies. You guys are partners, life, and one may be a little bit further from the other. But we're all still good. We're all still women. If you all are interested, I do have workbooks that help you become the God, the woman that God created you to be, help you build better habits, and pursue that life of fulfillment. These are these are the books that helped me, that I needed on my journey that I didn't have. So, love y'all. When y'all leave here, this is training ground. When y'all leave here, the enemy is going to be on prowl. And say praise up. Okay? Because we're not going to play by our children. Okay? And we shouldn't be women that play by ourselves. I love y'all.